Okay, we are on page 85 in the grammar book. Page 85. We are working our way through this book.
I have to do extra homework on the weekend because we're going to Disneyland today.
Yeah, you got it, man. Work ahead.
My brain. I'll just do the grammar in one day instead of
This grammar is going to be pretty easy for you guys too, so I'm glad because this is we're talking about adverbs, but we're looking at imposter adverbs this time. You guys remember what that word imposter means?
No. Like Among Us, you're the imposter.
Yes, but what does it mean? That's a good
I mean,
example.
like the
It means like when you're talking about a person, it means somebody
But
who's
it's an adjective.
yes, but an imposter means somebody dressed up like somebody else, trying to pretend to be somebody else.
Oh, these chairs are cold.
Oh, sorry. The heater's on though. Heater's on.
Yeah, so we read a story at Mr. Owens.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they show
like a mystery type thing or something, or
not really.
Oh.
My bottom's freezing. It's a Shakespeare story or
Okay.
Shakespeare tale, and it has a girl who dresses like a boy, and then another girl starts falling in love with her. That's the girl that's dressed like a boy.
okay.
And then the girl who's dressed like a boy falls in love with another boy. So it looks really weird.
That is really weird. You guys are reading that in Mr. Owens' class? Interesting.
It's
Okay.
like just like a funny kind of.
Oh, okay. Super confusing.
Lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
I'm like explosiveness.
Oh, you're talking about his story. Yes, I know. Okay, wait. So let me go back to imposter. Have you ever been to like Las Vegas or maybe
Yes.
Hollywood? And you
Yes.
might, okay.
No,
Well,
no.
you might see somebody dressed up like Jack Sparrow from the Pirates of the Caribbean, where they wear like the whole costume and they look exactly like him, but they're not really him. Kind of, yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but when me and my dad were in LA, we saw this guy dressed as a girl because he had all this eyeshadow on, he had a dress on, he had
Oh
a
my
lipstick on.
goodness. Whoa. Okay. So anyway, back to this. So in writing, an imposter ly is a word that has an ly, but it's not an adverb. Because you guys know ly words as adverbs, but sometimes they're adjectives. That's what this is going to talk about. Okay. So look at the top here. An imposter ly adverb is a word that looks like an ly adverb because it can ends with an ly, but it is actually an adjective. So this is where I'm at here, this part. If the ly word modifies a verb, adjective, or adverb, it will tell when, where, why, how, to what extent. It is an adverb. But check down here. You did. You told us that last week. You're right. So down here, these are the imposters. Read the list with me at the bottom. We'll go down, okay? Ready, read. Chilly, friendly, ghastly, ghostly, holy, kingly, nightly, lonely, lovely, lowly, orderly, prickly, queenly, ugly, worldly, wrinkly. There you go, your grandma's wrinkly. But when you say that, my grandma's wrinkly, it has an ly. Your great grandma? Yeah, so that's describing her. That, and she's a person, so that means it's an adjective. You guys get that? So sometimes ly words are not adverbs. You have to pay attention to how it's used in the sentence, okay?
So it's like my great grandma's very, very wrinkly. That's
Yes, because it's describing her, right? When you're describing a noun, that makes it an adjective, but if you're adding to a verb, then it's an adverb. See the difference there?
What about my great.
Oh, my.
Great.
We get it. Okay.
Not even.
Go right here to this, in the kind of up here toward the top where the lighter words are, that's your example. It says the soldier thoughtfully shared his meal. Thoughtfully is an ly adverb because it's telling how he shared, right? It's telling how he shared. But look at the example at the bottom of that section. The friendly soldier shared his meal. Look how friendly is telling what kind of soldier. And soldier's a noun, right? It's a person. So you have to, that's an adjective then, if it describes a noun. Okay, let's turn to the practice. Who wants to read today? Whoa. Oh, let's see. I think I saw Ainsley's hand go up first. I'm glad you guys all want to read those. Some classes are like, anyone? Nobody's raising
Yeah,
their hand.
that's like in Sunday school, like, he asked us to, like, Mr. Amato, our Sunday school teacher, he asked us to pray, he's like, who wants to volunteer to pray? And like, no one.
Everybody's like, don't make eye contact, don't make eye
And then
contact.
one
Why
of
is
my
there
friends,
always a blank piece of paper?
one of
Can
my
I draw
friends
like a
is
cat on
always
it?
like, she's like the only one that prays in my Sunday school. I'm like, I feel sad for you.
Well, you should volunteer. I
Yeah,
bet you're good at praying.
To say.
That's okay. You learn after listening to people pray, then you can learn how to pray. Yeah. There you go. Okay, Ainsley,
Twice a night.
go ahead and read. There's 2 sentences there. We're gonna
Five
read both.
times a day.
The king was wary. He called his daughter and told her that she must immediately return the stolen treasures.
Good. And that word is weird. That word is weary. What are we doing? Raising hands for what?
Or the vocabulary.
Okay, vocabulary.
Weary means like angry, kind of, or sad.
No, no. Do you know what it means, Juliana? Do you know what it means, Ainsley?
Like mad.
It means tired. You would think he's mad because he's telling his daughter to return stuff.
It's just like totally forget.
It means like really tired or without strength or energy. Like you're just like.
Can I do
So put a
that?
check by vocabulary. Do the articles by yourself. You guys know those. There's 2. Okay, and then Juliana can do the nouns. And then we're just gonna go in order. Good. King,
Daughter?
daughter, yes.
Treasure?
Yes,
I
treasures.
was gonna say that.
Rebecca, what about the pronouns?
Called.
Pronouns are nouns that, or words that take the place
Of an
of a noun.
He,
He, good.
his,
Not his.
her,
That was a tricky one. Her.
she.
And then she, good. The reason why his is not a pronoun in this sentence is because it's telling whose daughter. So that makes
So
it an
it's an
adjective. Yes, very good. We might as well mark it an adjective.
Wait, what is the adjective?
So his daughter, his can sometimes be a pronoun, but the way it's used here, his daughter is telling whose daughter, right? So that tells us an adjective. So Ainsley, his is one of the adjectives. Where are the other 2 adjectives?
I know where one is.
His.
Don't tell. Yep, that's one.
Oh.
Oh, I bet that's Elijah.
Yeah, I was like.
Okay.
He missed everything.
Next week, he'll have to do the lesson. Good morning. Check your feet. If they're muddy, just keep your shoes over there. If not, you can come on in. Okay. Go ahead and put them inside the tray so that people don't trip over. 'em.
Stolen.
Good. Stolen is one. And there's one
Where
more.
is it stolen?
Stolen treasures. Wait, we got 1, 2, and there's 3 adjectives.
Was.
Not was.
That's a
Immediate. No, we're
Telling,
going
telling about how the king feels.
Weary.
I know, please turn. What is it? You don't even know the sentence. Go ahead, Ainsley. Which one is
You're
it?
gonna teach the lesson.
Yeah, you were, but not anymore because you're late, but that's okay.
So we're looking for which one?
Ainsley, you tell us what the 3rd adjective is, describing the king, and don't say it, Elijah, okay? You can go ahead and catch up to
Weary.
us. There you go. Go ahead and catch up to us with the other stuff.
Hmm.
Good, weary. And then, Juliana, what about the ly adverb?
Immediately.
That was easy. And then conjunction, coordinating
And.
conjunction, and good, easy.
Wait,
Wait, Ainsley.
what are we doing? Oh, we're doing this.
CC over and then that clause, where's the that clause, Ainsley? That, and then it goes, how far does it go though? Cause you put parentheses around it.
To that. And.
Yep. And then write that above it. Now, we'll see if Elijah can join in. Verbs, because we have subject verb pairs, so let's look at the verb
Don't forget,
first.
Return.
Return is a verb. There's some helping verbs in there too. Nope, that's an adjective. What? Called is a verb.
That's what I was thinking.
There's more.
Here's the answer.
Stolen.
Not stolen, that's an adjective,
That
so,
was already taken.
yeah, so I know you came in late, we'll help you with that.
Return.
Return, you already said that one, so we have was, that's a verb. Was and told, and must, there's a lot of verbs in here. So all the verbs are, let me just make sure you have them. Was, called, told, must, and return, those are all the verbs. Now the subjects, Juliana. Who was weary? Good. King is the subject. S on that. Who called his daughter and told her? No. He. Yeah, I gotta look at the sentence because King is not in that sentence. It's he. And then back to Juliana. How about in that clause? Who must immediately return the stolen treasures?
Daughter.
Yes, but in that clause,
She.
she. Okay. Capitals. Rebecca, the,
And he.
and he.
So that button.
And Mark is period. Okay, thank you, Ainsley, for catching him up here. I'm gonna show this. You can pause that right there if you want to check everything.
Got it all, Linda?
I'll leave that there in case you want to fill it in really quick. All right, binders out. Yes. You guys worked on, what did you guys work on? Oh, you finished up your report on
Oh,
deserts.
desert.
Yes. So did you guys remember that this is a report? So both paragraphs should have been on the same page. Yours was good because you hand wrote it, and then on the second page, you hand wrote it again. And I think you ended up putting them on two different documents, the two paragraphs, like one for Sahara and one for, so you just need to put them together because it's one report. Does that make sense? But that, and you can either fix it or just remember that for next time. It's up to
I'll
you.
just remember it.
Yeah, that's fine. But when we're doing reports, which is what we've been working
We
on,
have to have them on the same paper.
yeah, it's like, hold on. 2 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs about the same subject. So that's why they all go together. Before you put it away, I want to review with you the topic clincher rule. Look at this yellow page with me really quick. It's in your packet of desert stuff.
I forgot that they needed to be together, so I
Oh,
need to
okay.
type them together.
You typed them together, so that was good. Yeah, I did notice that. Look, and keep that right there because I do want to talk about that in a minute here, but
Oh, did you see I titled it?
I did. You gave them 2 separate titles, which was great. However, there's supposed to be one about deserts. So I did put a little note. I don't know if you saw me put a note on your Google Classroom
No,
yet.
because it was like 11.
Oh yeah, I did it this morning anyway, so. Look down here. You guys remember the rule? Did you get it? You're done? Okay, go ahead and get out
Parentheses and 7 and put.
your stuff from, did you write your report about deserts? Okay.
Wait, what was the song you ever?
Yes, I'm gonna remind you right now. Your hand goes up like this, remember? The topic sentence and the clincher sentence must repeat or reflect 2 or 3 key words. Okay, do.
Yes. Hand motion for
Yeah.
people who can't talk.
Oh, like sign language?
Yes.
Not really. I mean,
Do you know
kind
sign
of. I do know sign language, actually. That would be so fun. I would love to teach sign language.
And then we can write how people talk sign language.
That would be awesome. Do it one more time, but let's go. Let's go faster. Ready, go. The topic sentence and the clincher sentence must repeat or reflect 2 or 3 key words. Okay, faster. The topic sentence and the clincher sentence must repeat or reflect 2 or 3 key words. Okay, good, nice.
Faster.
That's what this rule is on the yellow page. This yellow page goes behind model charts and
Hey, yours is brighter than my yellow.
outlines. Is it?
At least it's genuine.
It looks the same. Model charts and outlines. Are you guys listening? This page goes behind a different tab. So open up your binders. Open up your binders.
Wait, could you actually? Which tab is it?
I could. I would love to do that. We just don't have time in this class. Model charts and outlines. So let's put this over here for a second. Right here where it says model charts and outlines, put it behind those yellow, put it behind the yellow pages that are there, behind them. There you go. Model charts and outlines behind that. And then everything else about deserts.
It's obvious.
In case you're
all
colorblind.
Yellow. Seriously?
Yeah.
My grandpa's colorblind.
In case you're colorblind, they put the
My
color
grandpa's
name in there.
colorblind. Wait.
See, there you go.
Red
My
is green and
uncle-
green is red, which is a huge
Put
problem.
away.
Call my cousin uncle because he's already married and he's older than us, so I just call him uncle and he's colorblind.
Okay, put away week 9 about deserts behind finished compositions.
The next one's.
So all this stuff about deserts.
The next one we're learning
All
about
of it.
Antarctica. Can you come to Girl's house so you can teach us something?
I would love, love, love that.
Love.
Maybe I will next year when we have school again
I'm gonna go talk.
after summer.
He's
gonna
not
sleep.
sleeping.
I was gonna say the same thing.
We're like, he's really sleeping.
Okay, so go behind that stack. And then I'll help you put this away. All the way to the back. There we go. Oh, man. Yeah, that one's kind of coming out.
I can't. Yeah, that's
There.
Well, now we'll pull
Mm.
out
Oh,
all those are there.
Yeah.
Mrs. D, do you have a whole puncher?
Don't have one.
We have one up
with
at the house.
me.
When-
Just put it maybe in
When
your
we're done with
front
camera.
pocket for now.
Or the back pocket.
Yeah.
But there's a back pocket? Yeah.
Hold on. There's paper back there. You
Even
gotta leave
this
that in there.
needs whole punch.
Where the white paper is. Leave that paper though. Don't take that paper out.
When will we need it?
We will need it soon.
What?
Oh, you know what?
I never ever needed.
I am missing. Hold on a second. Uh-oh.
Every single one is broken.
Oh, that was from a long time ago, I think. I gotta
Yeah.
check yours really quick because I lost
This
my
one's
Gobi
dead.
Desert.
You lost
I
it.
did, and I think Juliana has it. Let me see.
Yeah,
Oh,
only
weird.
lost it, people that only found it. Why?
There's because you have 2 of them in here.
I do?
I think
Did you
that
steal mine? Just kidding, I'm kidding.
You
I
stole
stole
mine.
yours. I stole yours, that's enough. You stole hers, so. we can
whoopsie. Is that
it.
a pen? Or pencil? I think that's pencil. Let's see if I can
How
fix that.
dare you?
That was an accident. It just sometimes I put my stuff next to your stuff and then it gets mixed in. So go ahead and get out week 10
Already done.
and
Good.
put,
I
close
am-
up your
I am
binders. You need,
criminal.
you need 1 piece of lined paper and week 10. You need 1 piece of paper and week 10. 1 piece of lined paper and then week 10. Mhm.
Don't put it on the same. That's just.
Yes, yes, that's what I want you to remember.
It has to be the title. on the
No,
paper.
no, only
just
one,
already got
so you
it
don't
on
do the
paper.
title until you're all the way done with your report, and then the very final sentence is how you make your title. Does that make sense?
When you're done with like,
Whoa.
okay, this is her, will you do this in your desert? Then.
Leave it blank.
Okay.
Yeah, until you're done with both or all of it, and then,
Oh, this word, this.
oh my goodness, Juliana, right
Where
here.
is week?
Week 10.
Desert.
Okay,
Oh, we did.
We are talking about desert reptiles today,
I don't actually get this one.
this
right.
week.
It's not.
And
Dinosaurs are reptiles.
do you guys remember, we talked about summarizing? I'm just gonna write this on the board. You don't have to write this down, okay? You just watch me.
Some. or
Yes, yes. Remember how we talked about this part
It's
of
like
our.
the answer of math. Or it's the answer to.
So how should we really spell some?
S-U-M. S-O-M-E.
There we go. SOME
That's what it
means
That's what-
part,
I thought
right?
you meant some math sum.
Well, that's what we see here, but really
Oh.
when we're summarizing in writing, we're telling part of or some of the information, right? So you guys need to listen. So if I was writing about, let's pretend for a second, just for discussion, let's say the subject is Tehachapi. What are some possible topics about Tehachapi?
I know. I'm
Go ahead.
walking my own personal.
Mountains, good. You guys can just say it. I'll just write them all down. What else?
It
Mountains,
has hundreds of trees.
trees,
So,
snow,
rain.
rain.
Wind.
How about trains that come through, right? What about windmills?
Oh, yes.
Right.
I'm lost in my own
Farms.
book.
What kind of animals are there in
Dogs,
Tehachapi?
cats,
Wild animals.
mountain lions,
Mountain
bobcats,
lions.
rattlesnakes, horses, cows.
Horses. Those are on the farm, right? But mountain lions, rattlesnakes,
Horses,
Scorpions,
cows,
scorpions.
pigs, birds.
Scorpions?
birds. What about,
Horses.
there's
rabbits,
restaurants, right?
Restaurants, homes.
Homes, houses.
There's restaurants, there's, a museum. Have you guys ever been to the train museum?
I
before? Okay.
Hold on.
So-
I'm my own book. Okay.
Here's an example of a subject like Tehachapi, and then look how many topics you could have. Now, remember, most of our reports are either 2 or 3 paragraphs long, right? Like your desert report was only 2 paragraphs long. So if
This
it's
one's
2
3.
paragraphs, you only need to pick 2 things, like let's say mountains and museum.
I'm like mountain.
The
and
mountains
mountain
are there,
lion.
and then there's mountains.
So you would just pick, of all these topics, you would just pick however many you need for your paragraphs. That's how you decide how many topics to choose or what topics to choose. So today, we are talking about. Oh my. Guys, we are talking about desert
Dessert.
reptiles. Now, it's
I love
not dessert, because that would mean it would need 2 S's if it was
Victoria
dessert,
accident.
right?
And it's
Desert
and they're
reptiles.
more tasty.
So
Mom.
did you guys notice when you were taking out week 10 that there are 3? What are they called? What's the first one called?
The Sahara sand viper.
Sahara. We know Sahara. Sand
Rattlesnake.
viper. Wait, hold on, slow down. What was the second one?
The Mojave rattlesnake.
Can we get everything
Oh, that's the Mojave
Oh.
rattlesnake. What's the third one?
The gray monitor.
Gray monitor.
Monitor.
All right, guess what? You guys are a little chatty this morning. See if I spelled that right. You need that out. So, yep, that's part of week 10. Get everything out for week 10. So there should be more than that. Here, let me help you really quick. I think you're missing some stuff. There's about 5 or 6 pages that you need for it. Yeah, so you need this one and that one.
3. That's a long homework. That is.
Well, here's the deal. You guys are writing a report, just like you did for deserts, right?
Yeah.
You got it? Yeah, those 2 pages. Good.
So,
Or all those pages. So when we wrote about deserts, you had 2 articles. You had one about the Sahara Desert and one about the Gobi Desert. You remember that?
Yeah.
2 paragraphs.
And I
This
did that
time,
in one
we're
week
writing
plus
about
another.
desert reptiles, which are like snakes and turtles, tortoises, and
Lizards.
not scorpions,
Lizards.
reptiles, lizards. So,
Dinosaurs.
but, okay, hold on. The 3 desert reptiles you're writing about today are Sahara sand viper, Mojave rattlesnake, and gray monitor. You're gonna write 3 paragraphs of 3 different, they're all 3 different desert reptiles. Get it? All 3 of these paragraphs are one report. We're not gonna do all 3 this week, so you can relax. We're gonna do 1 or 2. We'll decide that in a minute. But,
One,
please stop, guys, please stop. You're making it hard for me to get through this lesson. So I want you to know that the subject is desert reptiles, but you're having 3 paragraphs. This is 1 paragraph right here. Oops. These are all paragraphs, okay? This is a paragraph and that's a paragraph. That's a symbol for paragraph, remember that? Okay, so I wanted you to get it in your head. Yeah, backwards feet. Now on your blank lined piece of paper, let's set up your keyword outline. So go ahead and put your name at the upper left-hand corner of your lined paper. I'm gonna draw my paper here like I usually do. Name here, lined paper, there you go. And then we're gonna put the date, which is 1/22/24. This is going to be about desert reptiles. Underneath that, KWO. And then go ahead and set this up. We're gonna do 1 through 6. And then Roman numeral 2, 1 through 6. And then Roman numeral 3. 1 through 6. All right, go ahead and set up your keyword outline. Okay.
What is a KWO stand for?
What is KWO, guys?
Keyword outline.
Keyword outline. Good. We used to write it all the way out, but now we just abbreviate that, so. Skip a line between each of your Roman numerals.
Well,
Can I
that
just
looks like
borrow
you
this?
give them a lot of lines.
I know.
Can I just borrow this one?
It's hot in here now. You guys hot? Are you
My
okay?
feet are cold. I got a wine hot.
You're
I have a
fine?
t-shirt on and thin jackets on. How come you capitalize, reptiles?
Because that's the name of the
And
subject.
it's important.
Well, it's the title, so that's, it needs to be capital, which we are gonna talk about again, hopefully later if we have time.
Wait, I am not even close to done. Who's done?
Neither am I.
I'll give you
Well,
a minute.
You need a bigger whiteboard, I think.
I know. Well, I didn't
Just
plan
flip
ahead
it
to.
sideways.
And we could read it sideways. So there are 3 desert reptiles you're writing about. We talked about those a minute ago. So we have, and you're gonna put Sahara, go ahead, I'm gonna let you copy this down. Sand viper next to number 1. Next to Roman numeral 2, whoops.
Wait, no.
I'm gonna slow down, don't worry. Mojave. Rattlesnake. And then row number 3 is Gray's monitor. And that's a weird name, but it is a reptile.
What?
I'm stopping. It's actually like a lizard. Not a snake. It's a reptile though.
Models. Like a mini model.
Mhm. So like I showed you, these are your topics. Now each one, go ahead and keep writing, but I'll just talk while you're writing.
Say Mojave.
Yeah, Mojave is how you say it. It's actually a
Mojave?
Spanish
Wait, is it Mojave?
word. Yeah, like the
That's
desert.
where my dad works.
There you go. It's close to us. It's
What?
probably like
No.
30 minutes from here. You can
He
drive.
doesn't live right there. That's where his aunt actually.
You
that's
live
where
in
his-
Mojave?
That's where his like. That's where his like.
Oh, so hold on. Sorry, Rebecca was first. Go ahead,
Oh,
Rebecca.
That's where he like gets his truck and then he goes
Okay.
up to Pine Tree.
Mm. And what were you gonna say?
We live on the road that divides Mojave and Taxman.
Oh, okay. Is it Sand Canyon? Is that where you guys are? Oh, okay.
Wait,
All right.
I live in Bear Valley.
I'm almost done. I live here.
That's cool.
I
Oh.
live a Stallion Springs.
Stallion Springs.
I was
Everybody's
thinking
in a
that.
different-
I like that place.
Yeah.
Our friends live there and we go up like they in their backyard they have high hills.
It's really pretty.
So we go like climbing on them, like running.
That's cool.
Let me just write
Okay, it's okay. Keep writing. I'll leave it up here for you. But I wanted you to notice each paragraph is a different reptile,
The
okay?
first one looks like
And so this is like how you would write a report. So someday if your teacher or your mom or whoever is doing your schooling says, write a report on Abraham Lincoln, then you would have to think about and look at how many topics are there about Abraham Lincoln? Well, he loved to read. He was a president, right? He
very
was a
tall and
leader.
skinny.
He was tall and skinny,
Christian.
wore a tall hat. He was a Christian, that's right. So
He's a
all of those could be different topics that you can choose. Instead of writing about how tall he is and what he wore, that could be his appearance, right? Or maybe his early life, like where was he born? What year was he born? And who was his family? That could be a separate
He was
paragraph,
born
right?
2,000,000 years ago.
So just know that you can do this with any class that you have to write a report on. So now that we have that set up, let's get started on the first
I actually,
topic, which is the Sahara sand viper. So go ahead and look at that one first.
okay, I have to look them up.
Sahara sand viper is on page 83. Yes, it does. And this one is just one-sided. There's nothing on the back. I think actually only one of them has stuff on the back. So this one right here. Oh, now, do you guys remember? There's a lot of facts in here about the Sahara sand viper, but how do we choose which ones to write about?
what's
Underline.
important or interesting?
Important or interesting? Good. I like that. So important would be things like, where can you find a Sahara viper? That would be
Or
interesting. It would be important.
Sahara Desert.
But, and
Interesting is like facts about it, like the
How long
scales of it is like this, and this color, or like something
Yeah.
like that.
okay, don't mark on it yet, okay? So you're right. Things that are interesting that stand out to you about the Sahara sand viper, go ahead and underline that information. So you need to underline, like, where can you find these guys? I'm thinking the Sahara Desert, just like what Elijah said, but if there's any other important information, underline that, but look for interesting things, okay? So that's what we're gonna start with. I'm
You
gonna
can't
read.
underline all-
Don't underline everything. Try your best to just pick and
It's like the
choose.
tunnel.
It's-
100.
Uh-huh, it's a funnel, exactly, very good. I'm gonna read, you guys underline, okay? Are you ready? I'll start. Sahara sand vipers live in the Sahara
We
Desert.
talked about the Sahara Desert before.
Yes, we have, and parts of the Middle East. So that's important. You might underline, I think you should underline that sentence.
I already did.
Now, I wanted to remind you,
Should I underline the whole sentence?
I
or
was just gonna
those
say,
phrases?
on that one, I would underline the whole sentence. But sometimes sentences have more than one fact, so you can underline part of the sentence if something sticks out in your head in part of that sentence. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Either underline the whole sentence or part of it.
already says where you can find them.
Holy
Sahara
cow, that's
sandvipers
huge.
live in the Sahara Desert and parts of the Middle East.
I just read that. You're right, Elijah. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. They can be as long as 1.6 feet or 50 centimeters.
Oh.
That's not very long, actually. That's like maybe that
What?
long.
Oh.
Remember, 1 foot is 12 inches, like a
Oh,
ruler.
Right.
So these are not like rattlesnakes. Rattlesnakes, mhm.
Or like taller than
These
my
guys
dad.
are small, but we'll find out about them.
Can I
Okay.
read?
Well, let's find out. Most are pale sand-colored snakes with dark markings and wide triangle-shaped heads. Interesting. So sand-colored, so they blend in with the sand. So they're probably hard to see in the desert.
Did it just say,
Mhm.
it had like black something?
Dark markings and wide triangle-shaped heads. You know, do you know?
Most are pale sand colored snakes with dark markings and.
Yeah, did you hear me read it, Elijah? Okay, yeah, so underline that if you think that's interesting. Triangle shaped heads is like a rattlesnake, like the rattlesnakes that we've seen, right? Their head is like, they have a big jaw. It's wide right there, and then it comes to a point
It goes like this.
at their nose. Kinda, yeah, uh-huh.
Cleverly.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Cleverly, these vipers bury themselves under the hot desert sand. They do this to cool off.
What?
Cause have you ever been to the beach and if it's a warm day, the top of the sand is warm, but if you dig down, it's cool.
And I love it.
It's
I always put my feet
Hot,
under-
but when you dig down, it's cooler.
I
Same
put my
thing
feet
here.
Under it, like,
I know, it feels good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, they do this to cool off, but this is also how they hunt. Wiggling above the sand, a bit of the snake's tail makes passing lizards and rodents think that it's food. So it probably looks like a little worm. I'm thinking the end of the tail is like wiggling above the sand,
Like
but he's
rattlesnake.
waiting underneath like a trap, you know?
So I can pretend it's a worm, and then when he sees the prey, he just go.
Yes,
I was a
let's see what
lizard.
happens.
If I was a lizard and I saw a worm that's sticking up, I would not eat it because worms. I mean that worms do not go vertical. They're horizontal in the ground.
Well,
They just fall off.
I don't know if they're that smart. They see something moving and they want to eat it. It doesn't matter. They don't really think through, oh, it's not wiggling the right
We haven't
way
done this
or,
one yet.
oh, it's
year.
the first one. Yay, yay.
First one.
First
I
new one
have-
for you. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Then when the unlucky prey is close, it strikes. You guys know about preys and predators, right? The difference between preys and predators. The Sahara sand viper is vicious and will bite several times. Unfortunately for humans,
The pencil just
I mean,
literally jumped
thank
out
you.
of my hand. I was about to write it with you.
fortunately for humans, the viper's venom does not usually kill people, but it dooms any lizards, rodents, and birds that are bitten. Okay, underline any information you think is interesting in that paragraph
But it does.
or parts of sentences. I like that word dooms, by the way, because you guys are doing topic clinchers now. Dooms would be good to reflect like kills, right? Dooms and kills, they're reflecting words. That would be a good one to remember. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. The Sahara sand viper is interesting for two other reasons. It is a sidewinder.
What is that?
This means that in order to move quickly, the viper jumps over the sand instead of slithering. So it leaves J-shaped tracks in the desert. The sand viper does not lay eggs. It bears live young, which is not a common thing for a snake to do.
Yeah,
What
that's,
is that?
it's kind of like, that's the discipline of rats.
Or that mean it's a mammal?
Because wasn't,
Good question.
when Satan tricked Eve, wasn't he a rattlesnake? And that was his discipline?
There are times in the Bible where they refer to Satan as a snake. That's true. I'm not sure about in the garden, but yeah, there was a snake in the garden. I think you're right. And
that's like
and he
the
lied, right?
discipline of
Mhm.
it, like having babies like live instead of eggs.
Well, okay,
And
let
they
me
come
tell
out
you
of the
this.
mouth.
Let me tell you this, okay, about snakes. Most snakes, like almost 100%, but not 100%,
Like
lay
99.99.
eggs. Yeah, most of them lay eggs and then the eggs hatch, okay? But these guys, the Sahara sand viper, they actually give birth to live babies. That means they birth, they are not mammals though, even though that is a characteristic of a mammal. They're not warm-blooded and they don't have hair. So they do give birth to live babies, but that doesn't make them a mammal though,
They're
okay?
interacting like the platypus. They lay eggs, but they're a mammal.
Yes, very good. That was smart. Yeah, you're right. So they have characteristics of both, but these are still considered reptiles, okay? They're not mammals, but they do give birth to live babies, which is interesting. So if you didn't underline it, I recommend you underline that because that's something that's unique about these snakes that would be good to put in your report. Okay. How many, yeah, are you counting how many things you underlined? You might have more than 6, but that's okay. How many do you have? It's hard to count, huh? Okay, so now we're gonna start building our keyword outline. This is the pattern on how you write reports, okay? And if you see something later, There you go, perfect. If you see something later that you wish you would have underlined, it's okay to underline it later, so don't feel like you have to get it perfect now.
It leaves J shapes in the snake.
It's interesting. I kind of think the J-shaped part was kind of interesting. So I guess they kind of like jump. And do you know sidewinder means like sideways?
They kind of like.
So they probably just jump sideways when they move.
Like,
Was it,
Mhm.
remember snakes, like, my dad talked about a snake that, like, it moves like that and not like that,
It moves like what?
like that, like a
And not-
fish, like,
Not like this, like that.
yeah.
It's like on its side.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
That.
I don't know off the top of my head. I don't really like snakes, so I
I
don't
think
really
I
read
should-
about them.
I want
They creep me out.
I love snakes.
No, thank you.
Sometimes mom,
Snakes.
one time I went to the barn with my friends.
Yeah.
And their friend's mom pulled in a red and black snake and put it on her hand, but it doesn't.
Oh.
And you got to touch it, and but it doesn't bite. It's really.
Is it
Oh.
a gentle snake or something?
I want you to add this word right here, unusual. That is a good word to describe the Sahara sand viper. It's unusual, and there's a few reasons why. The way it moves is unusual, and the fact that it gives birth to live babies, that's unusual. And it hides under the sand. All those things are interesting and unusual. So that is a good way to introduce this snake, okay, in this paragraph. Now we can go into who underlined where they are found. What does it say about where they are found? What did you put, Rebecca?
Middle East, Middle East, Middle East.
in the Sahara Desert in the Middle East.
In the
In
Middle
parts
East?
of it.
Okay,
parts.
so we can
Live
put
Middle East?
found. Do you know what the Middle East means? Like
It's like
Pakistan, that area, Iran, in the middle of the eastern part of the world. Um, I'm gonna put Sahara and then D, because we know what Sahara D is. We just wrote about that. Found Sahara D, and then middle, and then east.
I think we should circle the D on of the D of
I
their
ran
desert
to
reptiles, so we know what the D stands
Oh,
for.
okay, sure, we can do that. That's a good idea. Say that again, Elijah?
I ran to Turkey.
Oh. So found Sahara D, Middle East, that's where they're found. Okay, who can tell me another interesting information about them, going down from the top? So like look at the top end of your report, your article. Go ahead, Rebecca.
they have pale sand color and dark markings with wide triangle shaped heads.
Okay, so how they look, and then if anybody underlined how long they are, which is kind of interesting too, they're 1.6 feet, 6 feet
I
long.
underlined it.
How can you eat like lizards?
When
since
they're
it's so
little like that,
tiny?
I don't know. But sometimes you
wonder
can see
how
a
it's
bump in the snake, you can tell it just ate something, right? There's a big old bulge in their body like
And
that.
also,
Do they even eat eggs or something, like other eggs?
I don't think so. I think they're carnivores, so I think they just eat, eggs technically is kind of a meat, but I think they eat rodents mostly is what it said.
and also.
Wait, hold on, Juliana,
There's a type of snake that eats the own type of snake.
like they're
Their own. Their own.
cannibals, that's what that's called, when they eat their own
Yeah.
kind.
I
Cannibals.
mean, like
Birds.
humans eating other humans.
Ew.
Horses eating other horses. Horses.
Well, some of those don't naturally do that, but some animals naturally do, so
Wait,
anyway.
I wonder how
Like
many
praying
baby
mantis, have you
snakes
heard
are
that about
there?
them? They
Yeah.
eat their own, their own,
Baby snakes must be
children.
that small.
Okay, anyway,
Baby snakes?
Black
back to
walrus.
this, the color, tell me what colors again on this guy?
They're
Pale.
pale sand colored and dark markings and wide triangle shape.
Okay, we're
How
gonna
we
have
gonna
to
write?
sand. Dark markings, you said?
Yes.
What do you guys think? How can we put that in here?
We could draw like something with like.
We could draw a snake with
A
dark
symbol.
markings.
Sand,
Oh, yeah.
What's on the bottom?
Wait, I don't think right.
dark markings and wide triangle shaped heads.
We could draw a snake with wide triangle heads and dark markings.
Just write markings and then we'll know, remember it's dark.
What? Dark
Okay.
markings and triangles.
Oh,
You
I
could
got an
put
idea.
D, you could put D.
DK for dark. Can we remember that? DK
Or Donkey
markings.
Kong.
And then a triangle and then draw a head, even though it's a human head, you'll know a triangle shaped head. How about that? Pale sand,
Triangle head.
dark markings, not Donkey Kong markings.
Donkey Kong markings.
And then a triangle shaped head.
Donkey Kong.
Ainsley, what do you have? What else do you have underlined in this middle paragraph? Today's the day. That's so exciting. I wish I was going with you. Okay, hold on. Let's hear Ainsley.
Cleverly, these vipers bury themselves under the hot desert sand
Okay, good. And why do they do that?
to cool themselves off.
To cool themselves
I just found
off.
out something. Cleverly.
Ooh, that's a good one to remember, huh?
Cleverly. I wrote
Cleverly. You can put it, I wouldn't put it on your KWO though, maybe like a note at the bottom of your page. you
Or
could put
maybe
clever.
on our ally pink list.
Yes, that would be a
Very
good spot.
boldly.
Bury under sand, bury, let's just put that, under sand. And then we could put cool off and hunt, right? That's how they hunt.
I erased.
So I put this on 2 lines here, so I got cool off hunt. And then, man, there's a lot left, but we only have 2 spots left, so what can we put, what do you think, Elijah? What's another, interesting thing about this snake?
It bears 5 young, which is not a common thing for a snake to do or something.
Yes, and that's at the very end. Let's hold on to that for number 6. What do you think, Rebecca, should we put for number 5?
Fortunately for humans, the viper's venom doesn't not usually kill people, but it dooms any lizard, rodents, or birds.
What about
Yeah.
until it leaves J-shaped?
Yes,
I was
okay, so
thinking
this
about
is,
that too.
yeah, we got some good ones left, so this is where I'm gonna let you pick what you wanna put in your report. And I'm gonna keep the live birth one for number 6, but here you can either put how it moves in a J-shaped pattern, or how the venom doesn't kill humans.
Jay's probably better.
I kinda think that's kind of more,
That's
do you guys agree?
unusual.
That is unusual. Okay. I like that word sidewinder. Maybe we should call it, cause that moves, it moves sideways, right? So sidewinder
I think it's
on its side.
it jumps, right? And it leaves J shapes
It worked.
in the sand, right? So sidewinder jumps J shapes.
So it basically, jumps if it like the word dance, but sideways.
Mm-hmm. But how it doesn't slither like that, it moves different like that. Okay.
I never seen it jump.
Then I like that part about the eggs.
Wait.
What?
It says bears live young, but we can put live babies
There's 5 young.
or babies. If you want to use young, you can.
What are the snakes, little ones called? I don't even know.
Snakelings? I don't know.
Snakelings?
I just made that up. I don't know. Babies is what I would call them.
Babies
Think
will-
of what
they-
you're calling
They
it.
must be
super
tiny.
tiny.
You're right. They must be so tiny.
Wait, are they
Okay.
little babies?
One egg has multiple snakes in it.
It's dark
Yeah, I would
outside.
think so. I know, it's really dark.
Oh, it's raining.
It is. I thought I heard it raining. Yes, look at the table out there. You can see it on the table. Okay. Since we have a little bit more time, let's move on to the Mojave rattlesnake. You're okay. You're okay.
My goodness.
The Mojave rattlesnake. We're gonna do the first 2 paragraphs this week, and then we'll save this last one for the end. Okay, next week.
Let's work next week.
Right, exactly. Okay, so the Mojave rattlesnake, look at that one. It's on page 85. We're gonna do the same thing. So we got our information for the Sahara sand viper. That's one snake. Now we're moving on to the next snake, okay? And we're gonna write down information about that one.
No,
So
it's not.
You guys have it?
The Great
Mojave rattlesnake, go ahead and find that in here.
My dad must see them a lot because he goes to work. and
In the
gets
summer
his
especially.
truck, And then he goes up to Palmdale, but that's where he gets his truck and everything to go. So he must see
Okay.
them a lot on the way. or
sure.
something.
Okay, so I'm gonna read, you guys do the same thing, underline what you think is important or interesting, those two things, important or interesting, okay? The Mojave rattlesnake is armed and dangerous. Ooh, I can find-
It has arms?
No.
It's like it's ready to kill.
What does armed ED mean?
Like a tank is armed with bullets to like. Fight.
I like how they said that. I'm gonna put on here armed,
It's armed with venom.
dangerous.
I kind of like that, armed and dangerous. That's how you call somebody who's a criminal, who has a gun on them. They're armed, that means they have a gun, and it means they're dangerous because they might try to shoot somebody, right? So armed and dangerous for a person, that's what that means, but we're talking about a Mojave rattlesnake.
Basically like loaded with weapons.
She broke the rule, everybody. She broke the rule.
What?
Is she raced?
Breaker.
What did you do?
I passed the line.
Fuck.
Oh. Oh, wait, it's not on this, it's not a rule breaker, so you're okay. That's only when you're writing your paragraph. Okay, here I go, I'm gonna keep reading. A medium-sized snake, its long retractable fangs inject a very powerful venom. You guys know what retractable?
The only thing I can think of it watches a T-sat, something that tracks.
A
I
what?
don't know. That's weird.
A train set? Is that what you said?
No, I said like a winch or something.
Oh, think of,
That's what
Like
well,
it-
like cats, okay?
it
Does anybody have a
tracks-
cat? You guys have a
Yes.
cat.
I have to.
Their claws aren't all the way out when they're just like being sweet and sleeping and stuff like that. But if they get mad and they go to scratch or attack, then their claws come out, right? They stick out farther. So that means when they retract, they go back inside the paw, but they come out when they're attacking.
My cat does that to me. Oh my god.
You guys know what I mean by that?
Yes.
Okay, so this is how their fangs work. Their fangs come out, down and
And also
out
when they hit.
when they go to attack someone, and then they inject the venom through those fangs, right? But when they're just like cruising around, checking things out, their fangs are not out, right?
Do
so
they
that's-
like fold in and out?
I think they go back into their gums,
My cat
and then they
Earl.
come out when they're ready to attack
My
something.
cat Earl.
That sounds
He-
painful.
Oh yeah,
He
very much
knows
so.
when I'm leaving, like somewhere, and I won't be with him for like 3 or 2 days, and then he comes to my room, jumps on my bed, and meows, and he's like, meow, meow, don't leave it.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going through that first paragraph there. Okay, so I'm gonna start where it says it's venom right here. Its venom is stronger than that of any other rattlesnake in North America.
Wow.
Does that
Yeah,
mean they
that's
live in
wow.
North America? That's big wow.
Yes, that means they live in North America. And I think it's gonna tell us more about that. When threatened, a Mojave rattlesnake will begin to rattle, bring its head up, and strike at danger over and over.
Oh, that sounds so painful.
Yes, so
So like it'll come in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out.
that's
in,
what
out.
it sounds like, and probably each time, more venom, more venom, more venom, so they're very, very, very dangerous
Wow.
snakes, yeah. Okay, so we are out of time, so we're gonna
Oh.
finish this part next week, okay?
Oh.
But before you go, look at your checklist really quick, this is page 89. Look at this one really quick in your packet, oops, don't get mixed up here, guys. Yeah, don't do what I did last week. Page 89, got that?
Wait, what happened last week? I don't know.
You ended up with one of my pages last week.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it says, at the top under structure, look at the fourth box down. 1, 2, 3, 4, what does it say there?
Wait,
Topics
topics
under
or sentence
sentence
repeats.
Two,
Or
three,
repeat or reflect 2, 3 keywords.
Highlight.
You recognize that? Do it with me, ready, go. The topic,
Topic,
sentence, and the closure sentence must repeat or reflect 2 or 3 key words. Yes, good. Whew, that was fast. How about the dress ups? Let's read the list together under dress ups. Ready, read. LY adverb, who, which clause, strong verb, because clause. Now look, those are
are 1, 2, 3, 4. You should have 4 in your paragraph, okay? And then you should have your topic clincher highlighted or bold. You're
Which
right,
I
if you
did
do
on
typing. Let's look at the banned words right here. Right there, ready, read. Say, said, see, saw, think, thought, go, went. So make sure you don't use those words. I think you have your links. I think you just forgot to get it out here. Okay, so your job is to write paragraph 1,
And then I gotta go to Disney.
and then
Juliana gets to go to Disneyland and we all have to stay home.
I'll
just
take you
kidding.
guys with
Disneyland. Everybody pile in your car.
So fun.
That would be super fun.
And we bring like